Welcome back to episode 3 of Tokusatsu. My name is Scott. I've seen a little
And
Tokusatsu.
I'm Dominic. I watch a lot of Tokusatsu.
And we've both seen the most recent Tokusatsu. This is our first episode in a post-launch world. How do you feel?
That is a crazy concept.
I know. There's 50 views already. 50 people have already accidentally got recommended it and clicked off.
That's insane. You know, you could check for retention. I'm sure they listened to at least half of it.
Oh, I've checked. I think our max retention rate is like a minute.
You know what? That's a minute longer than expected.
That's a minute longer than anyone has ever listened to me before. I don't know if people can hear it. I'm just getting over being sick again. I was sick in the first episode, and then I got over it in the second, and then I got sick again in between 2 and 3, and now I'm getting back. I think I have the bird flu.
That's insane. Have you been around birds?
Oh, just Gozyuger.
Oh, God.
I set that up with Dominic before we started, and I think he really enjoyed it. And I think it's gone. This is a really good bit that everyone enjoyed.
Oh, God, Eagle. What a character, though.
Gozyuger. Go jumping right in Gozyuger episode 4. We get to meet the old man.
Yeah, old man.
He was
young
real.
man. He was real.
Yeah, we had a little debate, or not debate, but there was a little question of like, is it an old man that turned young, or is it like the old man and then he's going to pass it on to his grandson? No, it's the old
same
man.
dude.
It's the 87-year-old grandpa who's now a high schooler. Just casually.
Yeah, all because he wanted to relive his life. I don't know. It's just an insane concept.
Yeah, this is the most interesting premise for like a Sentai character I've ever heard. It's just crazy.
I feel like, okay, yeah, you know what? Fair enough. Out of everything that I've seen from recent memory, he's probably the most interesting. It's the most interesting introduction. We have yet to see where it takes him, and that's the intrigue.
True, but just from the outset, like this is such like an Inoue character. Like how do you reach this point where you're like, you know what? I think for like the 5th one, it should be like a really old guy that becomes young. And everyone's just like, oh, that's a good idea. Like, this is crazy.
And the entire concept of how he stays young is also why. How?
Oh, yeah. I guess because we'll get into it. I guess because birds. So he's an 87-year-old grandpa. His wife apparently has passed. Rest in peace. And he's very strict and like harsh and disciplined. And so when he randomly finds the green ring, the Tegasword's like, oh, like make your wish. And he's just like, I want to do it all over again and be completely different. I want to be a fucking swinging party dude, slanging dong.
Yeah, that's totally what he's doing.
Popping beers, getting bitches. And so he gets youth. He's young again. Now, something, I guess it's a little weird. He gets to be young. There's a stipulation to it, but then the Tegasword's like, if you want it forever, you have to get all the rings.
Which is a very interesting driving factor.
Mm-hmm. And I guess we don't know the other, like we don't know Blue or Yellow's main wish, although we can guess. But I didn't think that, I think it's weird that he gets like a little bit of his wish before completing the rings, whereas everyone else, we don't, it doesn't seem like
that is an excellent point. I didn't even think about that. He gets to live his wish, kind of.
Yeah, he gets like a trial run.
Very monkey.
Oh my god! Ooh, speaking of monkeys, this is my monkey brain idea. Okay, so given the fact that Green gets like a test, like a little taste of his wish, what if Blue was never an idol? Like, what if his wish is to be an idol, and so he gets like this version of being a washed up idol? And it's like, if you get all the rings, then you'll be a true idol.
That is actually kind of interesting. See, but then the thing is, people already know of him.
I know. But I mean, if the Tegasword can alter like the world, I don't know.
That is also...
Could it alter people's memories?
Huh.
I don't know. It's probably not.
See...
It's probably just Green's an exception because the plot needs it to be.
It's funny you bring that up because... Okay, so everybody kind of has this perception that he's an idol, right? But then
Yeah.
the people most directly around him, the people wearing the rings, don't really perceive him as such. At least
That's true.
That's the vibe I'm getting. So maybe
None of them have reacted to him like as if they knew who he was.
Right.
But I guess you could just not be into idols, maybe.
I guess that's true. Maybe there is a perception shifting thing about the rings, though, that make it
Maybe.
so that normal people maybe think he's an idol, so he's not an actual idol. So that does connect to the possibility of, maybe he's getting a taste of his wish, but he's not actually living it.
Right. Well, because is it Tokusatsu?
Yeah,
I forget.
Tokusatsu.
The fake
Yeah.
Taro. Yeah. His wish presumably was to become prime minister, right? Which he has become. Or was his wish just to be popular enough to be prime minister?
Maybe no, he's not is he the prime minister? No.
That's what I thought.
Okay.
I could be misremembering.
Maybe.
But he was at least running for prime minister.
Right.
Huh. Take a sword. We have some food for thought.
Many questions.
Mm-hmm. So we do learn that one of the key reasons that he can stay young is he has to eat eggs.
Egg.
Egg.
Just egg.
Cause bird, maybe.
Cannibalize your children.
Yeah, eat the egg. So he shows up to the cafe all old. He eats the eggs. He becomes young. So everyone on the team, it's not going to be like a hidden secret thing. Like everybody knows that he's old, except Black, who's not there.
Yeah. We also find out that Tyranno's dad is a doctor.
Yeah, we find out his dad's a doctor, and then there's like some kind of beef between them.
Very Asian.
Yeah. I will not comment on that. Because Blue is like, why don't you ask your dad? He's a doctor. And Yellow's just like, he doesn't listen to me. So I wonder if it's like, is his dad like a bad guy, or is his dad like a normal man? And Yellow is so far into the cult that like he's cutting him off because he doesn't believe.
That's insane, but also
he's not a true believer.
That makes sense. If Yellow is as cult coded as he is, he doesn't want to listen to a man of science, a doctor. You'd say
exactly. The doctor's going to tell me the Tegasword's not real. I'm out of here.
But we have reason to believe the Tegasword is in fact real. Reason, just a little bit of a reason.
Just a little bit. So we see Green go into high school. He makes up a fake name. I don't know which name is going to be more important.
Yeah. Kinjiro is his name?
Kinjiro is the fake name he comes up with, and his real name is Joji. I don't know which he'll go by. I don't think it really will matter, because we'll either call him the old man or Green.
I mean, I would imagine that him having a school life will matter on some level, because that's what he wants to do. He wants to relive his life, right?
Yeah, he wants to relive his life as a high school party boy. I wonder if, I don't know, like, do you think let's just make our guesses right now. By the end of Gozyuger, is he going to go back to being an old man, or is he going to live again? What do you think right now?
Ooh.
You've known him for one episode. You got to stake our claims.
My money is on him being young forever, and he's going to still be old on the inside, and it's going to monkey's paw real hard.
What, like his brain will die?
Yeah, he's gonna be young, but he's also gonna suffer from like dementia.
Oh God! Oh no! He'll get Alzheimer's, and he's remembering a life that people are like, "You couldn't live that. You're like 12."
Oh,
that's really
sad.
Some
Benjamin Button shit.
Oh, I love that movie.
Good movie.
Good movie. I don't know. I think it might be. I'm leaning more towards he goes back to being a grandpa, but I wonder if it'll be something where he ends up stuck young anyway, but he'll definitely come out to his family, I think, at some point.
Yeah, that's true.
Jump into the end. The grandson kind of knows, I think.
I don't. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Next scene: Unicorn has beef with a CEO who also has the soldier.
Or no, was he a CEO or was he an attorney?
I had the impression that he was a CEO. I wrote down CEO.
Oh. I just assumed attorney because she said she was talking to him about a case.
Oh, that's an interesting point too.
Because she was like, I want to know about the case.
But he has the resoldier ring.
He does.
Which makes
and he transforms
for the next episode.
He transforms.
He does.
Oh, it's true. And then she doesn't. It looks like she's got a little bit of that Gavv sickness going around. She's jammed up. Her black ring don't do nothing.
It don't do nothing.
She gets saved by Don Momonataro.
Yeah, and then we get Sentai Ring versus Sentai Ring fight, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, it's just not something I expected, but I'm here, and he fucks
He
him up.
does. Holy shit, he gets rolled.
If you ever wanted to know who would win in a fight, Don Momotaro or Ryuso Red.
Okay, I mean, to be fair, he did switch mid-fight. He did use Time Red's power.
Well, he used the Time Ranger finisher,
Yeah.
right, where they shrink the monster down.
So it's like more rings equals more power is the impression I'm getting.
I don't know. I think Don Momotaro probably solos the whole universe, but
Ooh, that's ambitious considering you haven't seen a lot of Tokusatsu.
Yeah, it's not true. It's not true.
I've seen some shit. I don't think Don Momotaro solos the verse. I'm gonna be real.
Oh, you're right. Okay, Gold Don Momotaro. There we go.
Now he's cheating.
A little bit. So we find out the case that Black was after was about her little sister.
Right.
I think in this episode we don't find out, but in the next one we do find out that she was kidnapped.
Definitely addressed more in episode 7 than in 6.
Mm-hmm. So we get introduced to a couple guys. There's like they're like Fire Bro, Blizzard Bro. After Cassius Bear, I'm just not gonna bother with the named bells.
God. Yeah.
Like they're I don't know why they're naming them. I hope it pays off somehow, but they're just here to get blown up.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
We get more introduction to more bad guys. Bouquet, you find out, is still mourning her Oshi, her boy, whose photo card got ripped mid fight with Blue.
She still hasn't put together.
Yeah, no. She's holding a grudge, so likely they're gonna get more interactions.
It's definitely gonna be a thing where then she'll find out.
It'll be interesting to see where they take that storyline.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get the brains of the bad guys. SKSC, short knife, short cake. I think is.
Were they short? Wasn't it one of them like shining?
Shining.
It was like shining
knife,
something cake.
Yeah. So those two are the brains of the group. The strategists.
Yeah, 2 heads, 1 body.
And then and then afterwards they introduced Blizzard and Fire. They're naming goons again. They're dead.
Yeah.
But we get more
is.
dynamics with the bad guys. So it's interesting to see the little seeds that they've planted. But now we know for sure that if a goon gets named, they're dead.
They're dead. They've been dead even before they're named. But don't waste my 2 minutes of my time introducing people.
They want you to get invested in the villain of the week.
Did. I got invested once and it burned me.
Listen, Cassius Bear will live forever in our hearts.
Cassius Bear is my Oshi. You know what? Cassius Bear could solo the whole verse, to be honest.
Yeah, because that's exactly what happened in the last episode.
Cutting back to Grandpa a little bit. Turns out changing everything about your personality not as easy as you would think.
Yes.
He cannot be whimsical. This man has no whimsy in his heart.
Not a single whimsical bone in his body. Funny bone, never had.
No. He literally gets a random guy just comes up to him, first day of school, is like, yo, I got the key to the roof. Let's go have a party. And he, being the man who wants to become a party man, says, fuck you. The teachers are trying to save us. You're so irresponsible. I hate you.
Oh, God.
Only afterwards being like, oh, wait, that was a good opportunity to party.
Yeah.
He just cannot
he can't
fight 87 years of being a hard ass.
And honestly, old habits die hard.
They do. And you know what they say about old dogs? They die.
God.
I don't know. I'm wondering if he will eventually become this party guy he wants to be. Or if it'll be more of an acceptance of, you can't change that much.
I mean, there's a bit of a learning curve as we see from episode 7.
7? Wait.
Oh, 6.
You in the future, my friend?
Yes, I am.
Wait. No, you're still in the future.
5.
5.
Holy, I am. All right, well, moving on.
What? Do you smell burning toast?
Ooh, I'm on fire.
So we have a good scene, I think, with Hoeru, who's not in the episode very much, but it's him sitting with Grandpa as a young man, and he's talking about it was like how he wants to change, or like how young people are shit.
Yeah.
And Hoeru's just like, that's your ego. Like, you're fucking stupid. Like, you gotta change. And he's like, oh shit. And then he flashes back to his wife dying. And she was like, now that I'm gone, you worked so hard, but now live how like you want to live.
Honestly, yeah. Like we don't expect a lot, or rather, okay, correction. I didn't expect a lot from Goju Wolf. I didn't expect to see him actually be a leader, but we're getting
Mm-hmm.
that. Like he's actually having a heart to
We
heart
are.
with him, and it's nice seeing this develop.
Yeah, he's I think it's kind of weird because we get a heart to heart here with Green, and we get another one with Black next episode. But then Yellow and Blue, I guess, because they got introduced together, it just feels like he didn't connect with them that much.
That does happen a lot whenever you have a Sentai introduce multiple teammates at once. You don't get
Mm.
their development episode until maybe a few episodes in or maybe a little later. So likely we're not going to see Yellow or Blue's development episode for maybe a couple of episodes, I feel like. I don't imagine they'll take it
Mm.
past episode 10. Within the first 10 episodes is normally when they have like a proper introduction.
Mm. Which is, I'll just say, like, right now where I'm at with the team, I do think Yellow and Blue are starting to become not my least favorite, but like again, like you just said, they're without a good introduction, they're without any kind of development. They're just kind of here right now. So I'm not that interested in them.
There will be more.
Whereas Green is Green is pretty cool.
Yeah, he's a party dude.
He's a party dude. And wouldn't you know it, the no one in this episode is the number one no one party dude.
Oh my
guy.
god. The party beam.
The party meme.
Best,
And he sucks everybody up into the disco ball.
the best attack to ever be created by a Goon of the Week, bar none.
It's very true. It's pretty effective.
He actually stops them from changing. It's insane.
He does. Oh yeah, he changes their clothes, and then I guess the rings become part of the outfit.
Yeah, they can't take them off. So easily the most effective bad guy.
That's true. If he was like working with someone else, he could have froze them all, and then someone else could have beaten them.
Exactly. But unfortunately, he is, as we know, a Goon of the Week.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I mean, we skipped the part where Green throws his ring away.
Oh, yes.
Because he's like, sorry, Sword, I can't change. Well, he gets in a fight with his grandson. His grandson's in the same class, and he can't help but treat him like a grandson, like even though the kid's trying to be friends with him.
See, but they have like an initial moment of connection before he starts scolding him.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, okay, they still have like that family dynamic where family's going to be family, you're going to connect with them. And then he goes back to his old man ways. Yeah, he's just scolding him. And it's kind of like, okay, well, come on, you wanted to redo your life. It's the same thing again. Old dog dead.
We find out that, his family knows that he's missing, and the grandson doesn't care.
Which is kind of fucked.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end he's like, I lied about that. As much as he's a piece of shit, like I do love him, but I don't know. Just the fact that the family knows he's missing is a little weird. Like he's not spending any time as an old man, I guess.
Yeah. Well,
he doesn't live with them, so I don't know how they would know he's missing.
He does live with them at the start.
Does he?
I believe that because they live in like one of those old timey like Japanese houses. And they all lived under the same roof. And then when I guess we'll get to it at the end. But I'm led to believe that he's lived with them and then he just goes.
Oh, I didn't clock that it was the same house at the end.
Oh no, it's the same house. They live together.
Oh, okay. So yeah, well he's mad that the grandson doesn't have a dream, throws his ring away. And then everyone gets disco-fied and the ring flies back to him because Tegasword.
Yeah, I wrote that him throwing away the ring won't bite him in the ass, and honestly, it didn't. Like, it was the smart choice. Never punished, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And we get our first visual henshin into, oh my god, I forgot the name of the show. Gozyuger.
Yeah.
I think we talked about suit opinions in episode 1, but something that jumped out at me in this episode was that I hate the helmet. I really don't like it. It's like pointy on the top, like elf shape.
It sounds like it hasn't grown on you.
No. I think at the beginning I was like, oh, whatever, it's fine. And now that I see it, like I'm like, oh, I don't like the helmet at all.
I don't have any strong opinions on it, but maybe that's because I haven't looked at it nearly as hard as you have.
Hmm. My eyes are hard. Oh, also when he henshins, different music plays. Like there's like a flute.
Oh, that is interesting.
I didn't notice if the others had their own like instrument added when they did their henshins.
I'm gonna pay more attention to that. That's actually kind of interesting. Flutie
Yeah.
is very old timey. It fits the vibe.
It fits his old man vibe, and it's also like an air instrument or like a wood, like bird, air, like that makes sense. So he's fighting on the ground, and then everyone gets unstuckified, and Red jumps into Tegasword, and he starts using Tegasword, or it's Tegasword Red is what the mech's called, right?
Yes, and I did note on this that they don't have their own individual mechs like we had kind of figured out, but they just swap between each other.
Oh, they don't just swap, my friend. They get thrown the fuck
kick
out.
Each other out. I don't know if I like that. It's definitely dynamic and interesting in regards to that. Oh, maybe these mech fights will involve them trying to best the enemy against each other.
Yeah, it is very fun in the episode. At least we see like Red's fighting, then Blue swaps out with him, throws Red on the floor so he can shoot, and then switches to Yellow so he can smash. Then Red gets back in so he can fucking slash upwards. It's interesting. I guess it is more chaotic than like a normal mech.
I can imagine getting tired of it very quickly if they keep up with it, though.
We'll see. I doubt it'll be like that common. Like we already know next episode, we're getting Tegasword Black, and I'm sure they're not going to switch out in the middle of her fight.
I certainly hope not. Not during the debut episode, please. They gave Green a chance to shine.
They did, yeah. Well, is it I don't know. Oh, debut, you mean in the next episode, like Tegasword Green? Yeah. Okay, yeah.
They gave Tegasword Green like a chance to shine.
That's true. So I doubt they'll be swapping around. So everything works out. Turns out his grandson does have a dream. He wants to be an artist. He's going to his dad, who's the son of Green, and he's like, like I know art's like not, a stable career, and I don't want you to shit on me, but I was just gonna not do it and do something stable. And then his dad, I have a direct like subtitle quote where he's like, I don't want to be a hard ass like my dad.
Honestly,
I'm proud of you. This looks great.
Like we stand supportive dad.
This Green Ranger has caused generational trauma.
He really has.
And I think we need to acknowledge that. So he awkwardly, he gives him the note. It's like a postcard that just says, I'm fine.
Yeah, no. I'm pretty sure they found, they found the note obviously, but yeah, the note's like, I'm fine. So that kind of indicates, they live together, and it's like, oh, we're not going to go look for him. He's okay.
No, I thought it would at least be like, oh, I'm on vacation, or like, I'm going to see the world. But it's literally just like, I'm okay.
Peace.
And they're like, oh, thank goodness.
Yeah, just let your old people wander. That's the lesson of the day.
Mm-hmm. Especially if they have the AZ.
Oh, yeah.
He gives him an awkward hug because the young kid's like, even though he's like a hard asshole, I know it's because he's kinder than anyone.
Yeah. And then it's a real wholesome moment.
Yeah, he gives him an awkward hug, and the dad's like, what the fuck? And then as he's leaving, the grandson looks at him and sees the shadow of his grandpa.
A little weird.
And now is this just like that guy's like my grandpa, or is it that's my grandpa? I suppose we'll have to.
Yeah, surely we get more interactions. Also, I don't know if this will trigger a memory in you. It's not in me, and I don't know why I typed this. But I typed in quotes, I miss my wife, Eagle.
I miss her a lot.
I miss her a lot. And I don't know why I typed this. Is the dad single? Is it a single dad?
Ooh.
I must have typed that for a reason. No. Because, Goju Eagle lost his wife. Is dad just a single dad? Mm-hmm. Did they have a conversation about just not having their wives around?
Yeah, this is a family line of where women die.
Oh no.
It's the men only family tree, baby.
Well,
so Hoaru is standing there like a pervert seeing this family reunion.
Like a pervert?
Yeah, he pulls out his little picture with the first time we get to see his family.
Oh,
he's like, family, huh? And it zooms in really hard on his dad, but I'm not going to let that distract me from the fact that he has a brother, and that brother is Goju Polar.
Oh, right, well.
I feel like anytime the Red has a brother, it's always the fucking Sixth Ranger. Am I wrong?
Well, Hold on.
Maybe this is my Power Rangers bias and experience speaking to me.
Possibly. No.
I could be wrong.
I can't think of a Red that has a brother that's also a 6th. That's
Really?
going to bite me in the ass because someone's going to have an example and I just won't remember it.
I mean, it could just be like a Power Ranger thing that I'm carrying over.
Maybe.
But to me, like, Red with a sibling, a long lost sibling at that, like, come on, bro. Now, there is another long lost sibling in Gozyuger that we get teased.
Oh, yeah.
And could Black's sister be the first female 6th since Go on Wings?
Ooh.
I would be interested.
That would be interesting.
So I've seen some people complain online that, like, lately we've been getting a lot of Sentai with, like, the one female. And what better way to turn that around than if the 6th was a girl?
There's no way.
There's no way. But speaking of her sister, that leads us right into episode 5.
Where we get Unicorn literally leading 2 boys along. Just from the get-go.
2 boys and a bear.
And a bear. Oh, God, you're right.
Yeah. One of them, I'll just say it right now, not a chance in hell he was going out with that girl.
Oh, yeah, 0%
I'll be honest. I need that man's confidence to actually show up for a date. Like, full on not thinking he's getting played. Like, I need that man's confidence.
Honestly, Unicorn did him real dirty.
She did him so dirty. She does everybody dirty, to be fair, in this episode. Except, like, the little kid.
Fair enough. But we do get to see what her civilian power is.
Oh, yeah.
She's a mind reader.
Mm-hmm. But it looks like it is, like, limited by touch.
Which is...
So she has to grab you.
Yeah, which is a very normal limitation to have for a power like this, because it honestly is just too strong of a power in a war where you have to figure out who the hell is holding a ring.
Is too strong. I mean, literally our other guy has super smell. Okay? This is literally too strong.
Yeah.
I don't know whose is worse, Hoeru's or Rikuo's, but, like, they easily got screwed.
He could hear you real good, though.
Can't hear me.
Green's is super sight, I'm pretty sure. They reference it very briefly when he's in the Sword.
Oh, yeah, he's like, I got young eyes.
Yeah, no, he got shafted too.
Yeah, literally, it seems like Yellow and Black just got the good ones, and everyone else had to split up.
It's not fair.
The clearance aisle.
Oh, God, it really is.
So we find out that the reason she's on a date with these 2 guys specifically is that they were both witnesses to her sister getting kidnapped 8 years ago.
Yes, which is insane.
Yeah, there's something a little screwy with her age of the actress, like just knowing that she's 18, I believe. So they're making reference to, like, 8 years ago when her sister got kidnapped and she was on the police. She would have been 10 years old.
Dude, regular Doogie Howser over here.
It could, you know what? It could have been, but they do not show her as a child. It's her again, but dressed as a cop. So I guess, I don't know, she's playing a character older than herself, which is whatever. Just
I mean, you got to
funny.
respect a young actor to be able to pull it off. Whether or not she could actually pull it off,
Yeah, I was going to say,
we'll see. She does look very young.
They even do flashbacks to her as, like, a high schooler, and she looks the same. And it's like, okay.
Listen.
But yeah, so we find out she was a cop, but she was going too hard trying to find who took her sister. So she got kicked off the force or left. I don't remember which.
Yeah. Well, she got kicked off the force because she was trying too hard to find her sister. Literally pulling people in that weren't involved. Kind of shitty, honestly.
And the one scene we get of it is she's just, like, mashing a guy into a chain fence going, like, where's my sister?
Real Batman approach, honestly.
Yeah, and the other cop is like, what the fuck?
Like, bro. He's got nothing to do with it.
So after she reads their mind, she doesn't really get any information, and she just leaves them. She meets up with not Taro again, and he gives her the Ryusou ring.
Yeah.
Even though she can't use the Sword.
Which is
a little...
an interesting choice.
Yeah, is this good guy Tokusatsu or is this scummy Tokusatsu? Put your votes in the opinion below.
I mean, it's probably just a thing where it's like, listen, we're allies. You probably can't beat me anyways. Take this.
Mm-hmm. We meet our no one of this episode, the number 1 busybody. What is a busybody?
I wish I knew. This episode.
I thought I knew going into this episode, and now I'm not sure.
Okay, the traditional translation or the traditional definition of a busybody is someone who, for the sake of other people, gets in their business, right? Like, that's how I imagine it.
It's just I always thought of it as like someone who's nosy, like they want to know what's going on in people's lives unprompted.
Yes, that is a very exact definition. In Japanese culture, I guess busybodies are a lot more helpful, or they're trying to be helpful. There's a lot more good intent behind it, I guess you could say.
I get it, but it's like the examples we get just don't make sense to me. It's like, oh, I made a book and I signed it. Wouldn't it be inconvenient if you had 1,000 of them?
Which, let's be real, yeah, it'd be hell inconvenient.
It'd be inconvenient, but what does it have to do with knowing my business?
Yeah, no, it has nothing to do with knowing, getting into someone's business.
We might be suffering a little bit of translationitis. I'm not sure. But he's also an Ammonite and he has like robot arms.
Yeah, it was an interesting design choice for them to have a goon of the week that whose design has nothing to do with the theme.
I think I'm going to need you to refrain from using the word goon. I don't think it means what it used to mean anymore.
How unfortunate for the internet.
So Black goes to the bar again, meets up with everyone, says, you know what, I'm in, let's team up. Everyone is kind of wary of her, but then the Ammonite man shows up, so they don't have much time to think about it.
And then she does her thing. Everybody's rings, poof, gone.
She pulls a little Nami, steals everybody's shit, and then it's like, tee see you later. She gets followed by Hoeru, where he sees her fixing up the knee of like a little kid who fell.
Yeah, she doesn't make it very far, honestly.
Yeah, the kid, by the way, not grateful at all. He's kind of like, he's like, oh, you wrote on it, it's weird, and he runs away.
Also, hella clumsy, literally falls again as he's leaving. I hate that kid.
Hate that kid. That kid's our number one op. I know, like, when buildings get blown up in Sentai, nobody dies, but like that in my heart, that kid's in every explosion.
Oh, God. I don't wish ill upon anybody, but that kid, ooh.
Nah, that kid, you know what? He's gonna get fucking stomped by the Tegasword.
I hope he goes the way of Cassius Bear.
How dare you? How dare you bring that snot-nosed brat into the conversation with Cassius Bear? He was a champion.
Was being the operative term there.
My God. Oh my God. So she gets chased into like the warehouse by the Bell guys, and the number one busybody shows up. Hoeru has been chasing her the whole time. He gets chained up. I don't really remember how.
Yeah, no, he's trying to defend her.
Oh, that's right, because she tries to transform again, still doesn't work, and then he's like, you know what, like, get out of here. I'll defend you. And then he gets chained up.
Yeah, real bold of him.
Because she has his ring. Yeah, also, like, she doesn't just give him the ring back when he's like, I'll defend you, which is kind of a dick move.
She wants to see him fall. I mean, ultimately, they're all in a competition, right?
You know what? Let's jump into that now. Theoretically, like, they have to beat each other at the end, right?
Theoretically.
Because to get your wish, you have to have all the rings, and they're each holding at least one of them. Do you think that's where this series ends? Like, maybe the big boss is just like the last couple episodes, and then like the true finale is like the Gozyugers versus the Gozyugers.
Ooh, that would be interesting, actually. I'd be down for that. I've seen it before, and it's worked very well.
There's another series that does that?
That happens in Zatch Bell.
Okay, I thought you meant like Tokusatsu.
No. I haven't seen it in
Tokusatsu. Zatch Bell.
Listen, off topic, but yes, I've seen it happen in a story before, and Zatch Bell was that story.
Shout out to Zatch Bell. Chi wo pie, am I right?
Oh yeah, classic.
So I wonder if it'll, because part of the inception for Gozyuger, like you brought up last episode, was they wanted to make Sentai that could theoretically beat a Kamen Rider one-on-one. Right. And like, what better way to show that than by having them beat each other one-on-one?
Honestly, yes, but like, I think I mentioned this. I don't know if I mentioned it earlier in the podcast, but power levels may scale with the number of rings they have, right? So if they all have an even number of rings, and when they beat each other, they get more rings, eventually they're going to get to a point where, yes, one of them might be powerful enough to solo a Kamen Rider.
Oh, maybe if they cycle through every single Sentai power.
I mean, like, possibly. I could see it. I could see it. Honestly, I see the line.
Yeah, there's got to be like at least one main rider that's weak enough that they could beat.
I mean, post God power, because every rider gets their God power at some
Oh,
point.
okay. So they have to beat a final form rider.
I would imagine
That's
that
pretty rough.
the scaling that the creator is imagining is that they get enough power to fight a final form rider.
Oh my god! Of the final forms I've seen, one of them's like a fruit Jesus.
Fruit Jesus. And
One of
God.
them is like
and Fox God.
Yeah, one of them is the god of luck, and the other one is a black monster of destruction. I guess maybe they could beat Ryuki Survive. I guess. I mean, I'm not right now, but like maybe they could. But he's the only one that didn't get like a god form that I've seen.
A lot of Kamen Riders get like crazy God powers.
Mm.
So I guess okay, I haven't seen Ryuki, so you would have more experience on that. Surely Survive is strong enough to
Survive is strong. Like they're not beating 1-on-1. They're not beating Ryuki Survive right now. But it's also like maybe they could. Like if the rings do like make them stronger, I could see it.
Huh. Okay. Well, that's definitely an interesting point, though. Yeah, like definitely they have to get to the point where if the creator isn't a liar, they're gonna get to the point where they could solo a Kamen Rider. Like,
yeah, because they're not beating Kuga, they're not beating Geats, they're not beating Gaim.
Nah,
Those
they're
are the ones
barely winning against Gavv. They're not even winning against Gavv right now.
Gavv? Oh, maybe. We'll get into that, but one of Gav's power might disappoint me a little bit this week. We gotta jump back though. So she gets another flashback with her little sister where it's revealed that she wanted to be a police officer because she wants to help and protect
Her
people.
true wish.
Her honmono no wish. And her honmono is
Yeah.
honto no wish? Whatever.
I do.
Her real wish
is becoming someone who can protect people.
Mm-hmm. And the reason she couldn't transform before is because she made a not true to her heart wish, I guess, of just trying to find whoever caught her sister.
I mean, I think that was an interesting red herring because throughout the series, like at least for the people that aren't Hoaru, we've gotten to see like their wishes, right? Like,
well, we haven't seen yellow.
Yeah, we haven't seen yellow.
We've only really seen green.
But he has like an actual wish, like to go turn back time, become young again, and relive his life. So, like, you think her wish is just finding her little sister, and it's like, why is that not a good enough wish, right?
Yeah, why? That's clear. That's like the most driven like motive we've seen of the main cast, and Sword's like not enough
until now.
You don't love your sister enough to transform.
No, you have to love everybody.
Uh-huh. Meanwhile, Hoedo's just like, I don't have a wish. Gets to transform every episode. So I think there's only one girl on the team. I think it's safe to say Sword is sexist.
No. He's not sexist. He just has higher standards for her.
Oh, you know what? They're getting rid of DEI. So he's making it rougher for her to achieve success.
Oh, no. Not like this Sword.
Da Doom Tish. Yeah, so we get to see Goju Unicorn or Goju Black. Going into this, I thought this would be my favorite suit. And it's not.
Yeah, it was. I think the proportion of gold to black to pink.
I think there's just a lot going on. Like there's black, there's gold, there's pink, there's a gray, and there's white.
Yeah,
it's just a lot. It's I don't know. I do still stand by that. I wish all of their shin guard armor thing was white, because it would lead better into the shoes. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe if the pink was purple, it would work more for me, because the pink really stands out.
Yeah, it would work better with the black.
Yeah, because we do see she uses the Ryusoul ring that Taro gave to her, and in my mind I thought the black and gold like armor would look like one of the best ones on all the reds. But it's something about it, like either the glossiness of the black or the pink circle in it.
Yeah,
really
it doesn't hit.
I was let down.
You're not the only one that was let down.
I know. It's like in my mind, I was like, oh, this will be perfect. And then I saw it and I was like, oh, it's just as bad as blue.
Well, yeah. No, I don't think it's just as bad as blue. Blue's pretty egregious.
It's better. It's better than blue, I guess. The blue on the red is pretty awful. But I think yellow is probably still the best. We haven't seen green.
I
Oh
don't
my
think green's
god,
gonna
green's
look
gonna be
good. Yeah,
bad.
green's gonna look
Green is
awful.
gonna be bad. Holy. So yeah, I guess yellow so far. I mean red. We haven't seen red
I
either, but I
mean,
assume
red
that'll look
on red
too
is just gonna
similar.
be red.
Yeah, it'll just look like they have the gold shoulder pads, I guess.
It'll be like what is it? It's like gold armor.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, so she does something cool where she touches the monster, the no one, and she reads like his next moves.
Yeah, she does
which
use
is
her
cool.
civilian power in suit.
Yeah, how's your fucking super smell gonna help? Huh? You're gonna super hear the monster's next move, idiot?
I mean, as far as we've seen, that super smell has done him dirty on every angle. First he lost his job, then she shoots fart spray into his nose.
Yeah, she sprayed his nose with poo poo. Although he is the one who smells the no one when they're in the cafe. So like I get that's something, I guess. He's like a detector.
Surely they'll find a use for it. As writers often
I'm
do.
sure it's definitely like, oh, this is a plot conceit more than like this is a cool superpower you would want.
Yeah. No, like it's the civilian powers are normally pretty well balanced, I feel like, in most Sentai series, where like everybody gets a chance to be useful. It's hard to see that happening with red,
with
blue,
super stink,
green,
maybe polar.
And we don't even know what their power is going to be. Like, okay,
the
powers have revolved around senses.
The senses.
So
I guess she has to touch,
right?
But he's super strength, so that's also kind of touch. It's like we have 2 good powers, and then the rest are about senses.
Yeah, that's true. 2 good powers, and the rest are about senses.
Oh, Goju Polar is going to be able to taste a liar.
Oh no, I hate that. I hate the.
Oh, you don't know JoJo? Do you know that?
Enlighten me. I'm scared.
In part 5, there's like a famous character introduction where he licks someone's face and he's like, "You taste like a liar."
Ugh. Well, I guess that's another series I'll get to at some point. It's on my one-day list.
Yep, that's Goju Polar's power. Calling it.
You taste like a bitch.
Oh, whoa! We see the date. Speaking of bitches, we see the debut of Goju of Tegasword Green.
What a transition!
I don't know. I had to go somewhere.
I mean, man's flying. It's really
it's fine.
I think Goju Green or Tegasword
I know
Green.
it's so many. It's so
Tegasword Green looks, I think, like my favorite of the 4 introduced so far. I don't know. It just hits all of the right details with the green armor.
Yeah, I do like it. Not that I don't like blue or yellow. I think they're all okay. From the toys, black is my favorite, but I don't know about the show.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. One thing I want to say right fucking now is I better see that old man in the dripped out suit in the cockpit at some point, please. You cannot introduce this plot conceit of having to eat eggs without it paying off some point.
Man, wish that hard. Maybe Tegasword will choose you.
That's my Tegasword wish. That's my true wish, Tegasword Sama, please. Maybe I'm Goju Polar.
Oh man, man's got wishes for sure. Whether or not they'll come true, doubt.
No, people wouldn't like the world if my wishes came true. So, he blows him up. He shoots him with his knee. Oh no, he's fighting the stupid. No, did they introduce it? They did. They introduced another named Bell.
Yeah,
right?
no, and then he got rolled. He was sick.
He got shot. He was like a germaphobe, I guess.
Yeah.
He had like a broom. He was sweeping. It was fine. He gets blown up. They rip the boy. We didn't even mention that one of the boys on the date was the one that got sucked into the no one.
Because he was the one that didn't matter. No confidence.
He was. No, he's the one with extreme confidence.
No, the guy that got sucked up is the Redditor.
I know. That's why he's extremely confident to believe that she wasn't tricking him to go on the date. Yeah, so he gets pulled out. Oh, we didn't talk about her weapon, the
drill. Yes, right? Works very nice in tandem with the Tegasword.
Yeah, it makes it look like symmetrical dual blades almost, which is pretty dope. I think it's probably my favorite of the weapons.
And it actually looks nice on her.
Yeah, it's cool. I don't know, it's cool. Like it's the same kind of shape as the Tegasword, where like it goes over the hand and then the grip's on the inside. I think it looks neat.
I may be a little over that kind of design, but that's purely a personal bias because I've been watching Q Ranger.
Well, that's like they have like I don't want to get into it, but the thing I hate about the Key Ranger changers is that it still has the gun handle like on the side of it. I don't like that. If it's mounted to the wrist, why is the fucking handle still there?
I thought it'd grow on me. It hasn't.
I'm glad we're on the same page. So she's joined the team officially. She says she's not giving up on finding her sister. The only detail they have, though, on the criminal is that he had gray eyes. Hey, Dominic, who else had gray eyes?
Literally 0 people before this episode. I'm kind of mad about it now that you say it.
It's true, but we find out little Rikuo is talking to some fans, and they're like, "Oh, I'm an old fan. Like, I loved you back when you had the gray eyes."
Yeah, he had a gray eye arc. Insane. Guess you decided to debut new eye colors.
Yeah, I guess he decided to just kidnap a child. Monster.
Yeah, and then he's like, you know what? I've had enough of this child. I had enough of these gray eyes. I'm gonna put on like normal, like brown eyes.
It's time to rebrand. You know, the whole child killing thing just wasn't working.
Yeah, honestly, career-ending move. So let's change.
I think we're 100% in agreement that this is a red herring.
It's absolutely a red herring. It's a red herring written in the worst way.
There's no way that he's involved in kidnapping her sister.
See, but...
Or if he is, then it's like they mistook him for the culprit or something like that.
I'm going to be predictive. Was episode 5?
Uh-huh.
This will be relevant. This is going to be relevant. Episode 12.
Whoa. That's such a random number. Wait, why 12?
It's a random number because it's as random as this fucking introduction.
Oh, okay. I thought you had like reason.
No, it's not going to be relevant until like much later and for a stupid reason. And then they're going to get over it.
What? She's just going to get over her sister being gone?
No, she's going to get over, oh, you had gray eyes. You're not the same person. That's not you.
How many gray-eyed people can there be in Tokyo, Dominic? This is her lead.
In Tokyo? That's a bad question to ask. How many cosplayers are there in Tokyo?
Oh, shit. He's got me. So that's where we're at. The sister's missing. I think it'd be really funny if she was dead, but she's not going to be because it's a show for children.
No, you think it'd be really funny if she was Goju Polar.
No, that's what I actually would hope. My hope for her is that she's Goju Polar. I think a Six Ranger is pretty dope. I don't think it'll ever happen, but I think it's cool.
No, remember, we took DEI out.
Yeah, we got rid of the DEI, guys. I'm sorry. Remember to register at your local office for your next election. Yeah, I think it'd be funny if they just found her body and then it's like a mystery of who killed her.
Who done it?
I could see maybe Kamen Rider going there, but not Super Sentai. She's like 100% alive.
I mean, Sentai can get dark, but it also just depends on the series. I don't know if they want to get that dark with an anniversary series, you know?
No, you're right. They would not, because more people are watching this just because of the anniversary than like anything else.
Yeah, nobody wants to be depressed.
I know. They don't have the Geet's guts of child murder.
The Geet's guts.
I was blown. Spoilers for Geets, I guess. I'm not going to tell you who it was, but when they revealed that child was actually murdered, I was blown away. I was like, you can't do that in Tokusatsu.
Oh no, it happens in Kamen Rider. People die all the time in Kamen Rider. It's great.
No, but a child? People dying, like obviously, like cool, whatever. But a literal like child, I was like, what the fuck? This is superhero time. You can't kill a child on superhero time.
Superhero time is for the adults.
Superhero time is for me.
Exactly.
A foreign adult man. And I want to see a child corpse.
I want to see a child corpse is a crazy sentence.
I know. I don't know if I'll leave that in. Maybe that's too far. We'll have to cut it. Well, that wraps up any thoughts I had about Gozyuger. You got anything else?
I think 5 episodes in, I want to say I'm still excited, but at the same time, kind of lukewarm. There are still a lot of questions I want to have answered, but I feel like they could have done better. But I guess you could say that about a lot of
Mm.
things, right?
Yeah, I mean, nothing's perfect. We're always going to have like our ideal version that we think of that's way better than anything that they can make.
Yeah, because we're all experts in the field of writing entertainment.
In our brains. Everyone's a great writer and artist until they have to put pen to paper.
Yeah.
This is the rule of the
It
world.
is the rule of the world. Right now, kind of lukewarm, hoping that I'm sure things will turn up. But right now, I kind of have to get there.
That's fair. I think going into this, I was way more excited to watch more Gozyuger than I was Gavv, which is interesting because I think, as we'll discuss later, where we end off in Gavv, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I need to see more. Whereas I've kind of, a little cooled off on the end, on episode 5 at least. But I'm enjoying it. I think Green is just so fun, like just committing to a character with that kind of like play. There's so much they can do.
Honestly,
with him.
yeah. And then the whole thing with like the different gags you can do with them. He tried to put a cassette into a CD player. That was funny.
Yeah, that's incredible. And like there could be an episode about like, he forgot to eat an egg, so he turns old at school. There can be an episode about like anything. It's like the character premise is so much fun that I really hope that they don't squander it. Like put that guy in as many wacky situations as possible.
I like the idea more than I like the current execution, but at the same time, like you said, there's a lot you could do with it. The gags, like I said, are really interesting and funny.
I think that's all we have to say. So it's time for the
transition. We're gonna go into Gavv 26.
Okay, so we're just gonna forget my awesome transition that I made up in the first
Dear
episode.
Lord.
Segment
change.
Kamen Rider Gavv 25.
26? Why do I have it as 26?
We watched 25 and 26.
Got it.
Also with Gozyuger, you were like weeks ahead. I don't know what happened.
Okay, I've been watching a lot of Q Ranger, I guess, and it's messed with my perception of time because I've watched weeks of content in so short a time. No, it is episode 26. I'm not high. You're behind this.
You're not high. No, it's 25 and 26. Am I crazy?
No, I'm looking at it right now.
Is it 26, 27
this week? Yes.
Maybe I was the fool all along. Okay, well you got to vamp.
So we start off where basically Lakia is looking at our beetle monster of the week, and
from last
week,
beetle monster of the last.
Our good old fake Kabutodanshi. Best VTuber.
Oh my god, Helmet Boy. I got more to say about this VTuber.
Oh Lord, does he?
I guess I could just do it now
because it's not relevant after. Go ahead.
Okay, it's relevant. It's relevant to me in my heart. We see flashbacks later on of like the kid who hired him, who's the real Helmet Boy, and his model's like a little Shota, samurai boy. But the Beetle Man is like a big buff bara like Ikemen samurai guy. Yeah. So either this Beetle commissioned a new model when he stole the YouTube account.
Oh my god.
Or he just casually knows how to draw and then rig live 2D.
Fuck, okay.
And I don't know.
You made this more interesting to me now. It's definitely relevant.
See? This is a mystery. Either like where did he get the money? Because those are not cheap. Or two, like, is this Beetle like a really good artist?
Now I want answers to questions I never asked, and now I'm mad.
Exactly. I need to know what the Granoots concept of VTubing is. Because Granoot Society is like regular society. Like, do they have their own VTuber?
I mean, they're regular society, except they eat rocks, I guess.
Yeah, except they eat rocks and they live in like King Oger town.
Yeah. But man, that is an interesting point, though. I guess maybe Granoots are more like humans than we thought. This is relevant. I lied.
Yeah, so the Beetle gets away.
But before there's more that happens. Like, so back when Beetle Guy is talking to Lakia, he brings up Komel.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and he talks about how Komel was called to make an example out of him. And that riles up Lakia real good.
He straight up calls your little brother a bitch.
He calls his little brother a bitch. Lakia is like, you shut your dirty whore mouth. And they get into it. And honestly, I do think it's interesting that they bring up that he was cold to make an example out of him, because it's kind of signs that maybe when they were just doing normal drug dealing stuff, they weren't always eager to hunt for humans, or maybe not all of them were in on it, you know? Maybe like before they streamlined it, they had more dissenters.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we don't know the exact timeline of it, like when Komel was like first became a part-timer.
Right.
And you're right. I guess this does imply that it was like early on. So they were like, yo, get with the program. Like, you either do it or we kill you, like this guy.
Yeah. So that's probably the biggest thing that comes out of their conversation. Yeah, after that, he gets rolled by Lakia. And I watched that fight again because Jesus, like, he went in on him.
Yeah, he gets pissed. Does he? He has like a flashback though, and that lets the beetle escape.
Yeah,
or something like that. Then they go back to Sachika's.
Yep, they go back to Sachika's.
Little helmet boy tells him the sad story of his YouTube channel getting hacked.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "No, we gotta do it again so we can fight." And Lakia is like, "I don't give a fuck." So the little boy like storms off. Again, like Lakia just doesn't care about humans. Oh, we cut back to Hanto going to Suga's, right?
And then you find out that Hanto holds a grudge because he blames Shoma for his mom dying.
Yeah.
Which is, really fucked from a human perspective. Because I don't think most normal people would think that way.
I just think it's just weird how they had the perfect excuse to have this dark arc, but then they brought them together again and then had this other reason for them to break up. And this one just doesn't feel as strong.
Yeah.
Compared to the Granute Secret.
That is very true.
I feel like it's a dropped ball.
Yeah, it's a dropped ball and it feels contrived.
Yeah. I mean, what is is it that like, because Shoma said like, she was determined to escape until she saw me. And so he's hung up on that. Like, oh, my mom would have gotten away if he wasn't there. Like, is that what he's mad about?
Maybe.
Which, like, I mean, you're not rational, when you're thinking about this kind of stuff. But, like, I don't know. As a viewer, it's not something that I'm like, oh, I see where he's coming from.
Right. It's hard to relate to him in that sense. Because normally, Hanto's, like, the character that I feel like is a good proxy for the viewer. Because he's human. He's really getting into it. And you kind of root for the guy. But this isn't it.
No, it's weird. But yeah, so Suga tells him like, oh, the dark treats, like, it's hurting you. Not dark treats, the dark chocolate. And he's like, well, I guess you'll just have to rely on the one Shoma makes for now. And then Anto is like, obviously not on good terms. So he's like, no, I'll stay with the dark one.
Ugh.
Which Suga makes him happy. And then Nielv shows up. Well, Valen leaves, obviously. But then Nielv pops through a little doorway. And he doesn't really do anything when he's there, right?
We get to see how Suga makes Valen's upgrades, pretty much.
So that they've been working together the whole time.
I think that scene is just kind of to show, okay, so this is how Suga got, like, the Gochizos for Valen. He literally just feeds bitter Gavv.
No, well, does that happen when... I thought that was at the end of the episode.
No, that happens mid-episode.
Oh. Yeah, well, I don't know. And then there's a line that I noted where Suga says that Valen will be his savior. And we get into a little bit more of that next episode, but it's just an interesting note.
That is an interesting tidbit. Oh, that puts into perspective something that happens in episode 27 at the end. Okay. I'm drawing the connection. I'll bring it up when we get to there. But I'm drawing the connection.
Okay.
Next scene, Shoma... We get back to Shoma and he finds out what's happening in the B plot.
Oh, he's eating another fucking ice cream cake, right? No, it's cake.
You're right.
Wait, no. Is it?
No,
there's a cone and a cake later.
Yeah, no, he eats the ice cream cake and it comes out as a cone and he's like, why is it not cake? So he's a little confused.
No, but there's another... I think she gives him an ice cream cone and then later on we see him eating more ice cream cake. Because I do remember her like unwrapping an ice cream cone and giving it to him.
She did do that.
Yeah. I don't know. There's a lot of ice cream going around. Forgive us. Yeah, so he learns about Helmet Boy, and obviously Shoma wants to help him because he's Shoma. Right. And so him and Sachika go to, what's his name? Lage 9. What is his
Lakia.
Lakia. Yeah, they go to Lakia. And essentially like they convince him to help, right?
Yes, Lakia and Sachika have a heart-to-heart. And it's kind of like...
Oh, yeah.
Sachika does the good old talk no jutsu and convinces Lakia to Give things a chance.
This could be his new Komel.
That's a very ambitious way to put it.
Yeah, so then him and new Komel are sitting there and they share pudding and he starts to like him. And something I picked up on is he eats the pudding, right? And it's his first experience eating it. First of all, didn't know it was pudding. But he's eating it and he's like, it's not bad. And in my brain, I was like, this is a new Gochizo moment. But Lakia doesn't make Gochizo. Only Shoma does. But then also, this is the food that his normal Gochizo, his primary form, is based off of.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like him finally experiencing like the Shoma loop, you know, of like liking the food, getting the Gochizo, whatever. It's like him in reverse, where he has the Gochizo and now he's eating the food and being like, oh, it's not bad.
That's interesting. I didn't think about that angle. That is very true.
To be fair, I didn't notice it at this scene, and I didn't notice it until later when they called it pudding. And I was like, oh, it's pudding.
Yeah, pudding.
I didn't know what it was.
But yeah, character development moment for Lakia. Very nice to see. Like, we love watching our boys develop.
Yeah, and as we can see in next episode, he has an affinity for children now.
Immediately next scene.
Part of his art. The Beetle Man sets up... he goes to officers, or are they called part-timers still?
No, it's not a... Well, yeah, they're still part-timers. So the part-timer, the Beetle, meets up with, like,
they're called minions,
one of the
right? Because they're the ones that come out of their goblins.
I called them the word that will no longer be used. But yes. Essentially, they meet up, and then they're like, he's like, hey, I need your help with something. And the minions kind of like, all right, we'll go along with it. And at this moment, I realized the minions, for some reason, are normally a lot stronger than the part-timers.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that later because I got some grievances about these minions.
Oh, what kind of grievances have you got?
I'll bring it up when we get to the fight. So we have the fan meeting set up by the Beetle Man, and he eats all the people. Classic Gavv stuff. And then Lakia shows up, and he starts fighting him. Right. But then obviously the minions are there. But then Shoma shows up because I don't remember if he called him or what. Somehow Shoma knows where it is. And he goes his brand new form, Blizzard Sorbet. The very powerful new powerful form.
Right.
And except this time, he was eating ice cream cake, and then I think he got a phone call.
Yes. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah. So, yeah. So he shows up, Blizzard Sorbet. What the? He has the cake sword. And then it lets him spit out his own little whip soldier guys. But now they have little cone ponchos, I guess. So we were arguing about ice cream cake counting as ice cream or cake. Turns out it can be both.
It can be both.
Is it this specific ice cream cake? We don't know.
I do think it's interesting that they decided not to have the power. It doesn't show up on the Gochizo. It's still just the ice cream Gochizo.
Yeah, and then he has the cake sword, but it's still missing the piece where you put the cake in.
Oh, God.
And he taps the ice cream.
I hated that.
Doesn't do the finisher. Yeah, it doesn't work. But that's okay. We're gonna get into this because the Valen fight, or not Valen fight. Oh my God, my brain is on Honto. the Vram fight is separate. So we have this brand new form of Shoma, his most powerful form to date. He has the sword of his second most powerful form, the K-King. And he has 2 goons to help him. I said goon. That's my one. We each get 1 goon pass per episode.
All right, fair.
So he has his 2 guys. It is 3 with Shoma in his new powerful form. 3 of them versus 2 of the minions.
Yeah.
Right? It takes them long enough that it occupies him the entire Vram fight. Like, really?
Yeah, I don't know why these minions are so much stronger and so much more of a threat than they look.
I know it's for, like, obviously it's for the story. Like, you need Shoma to be occupied so you can have Vram do his cool fight. But come on. At least maybe like 5 minions or something.
Okay.
Or don't give Shoma the whip soldier.
I feel like maybe the argument is because, they're direct servants to Stomach Inc., the main family. They're expected to be strong.
They are the red ones, right?
They are the red
older
ones.
brothers.
I do still think it's ridiculous that they're that difficult for Shoma to deal with.
It's unbelievably dumb to me. Like, again, maybe don't give him the backup. Maybe make more of them. I don't know. But you just had this new powerful form debut, and he's getting bricked by 2 guys in hoodies.
Yeah, essentially.
Come on.
It did annoy me.
And normally, like, who cares? Like, because you're invested in the Ram storyline. Like, Shoma's just there in the background. But something about this really like irked me. I think maybe because it's too soon. Like, maybe if it was close to like his next form, I'd be like, oh, okay, so like, they're outpacing Blizzard Sorbet or whatever. But it's been like 3 episodes.
Yeah, like I just don't like the power scaling that they've presented. It doesn't seem consistent.
It doesn't seem consistent. It's very much like power scaling is whatever we need it to be for the scene to work.
Right.
Which is, I don't know, kind of annoying.
And like you said, like maybe they should have just included more minions in the fight.
Yeah, it's literally like a plastic mask and then like tech wear. Right. You're telling me you can't make like 3 more of those? Just something,
No.
And also, like, because he goes to ask for backup and they're like, okay, I got 2 guys.
Maybe
2 guys?
Maybe they're just being stingy. I don't know.
That's their backup? 2 guys?
That's all they could afford. The rest of them are dealing drugs.
They are dealing. Well, no, they're the ones who take the.
Oh, you're right.
Well, I guess, they do deal the drugs to the part.
They do.
If you get paid, if you pay someone in drugs, are you a drug dealer? Yeah, right?
I feel like you're dealing the drugs. That makes sense.
Okay. Okay. As long as we're on the same page. But yeah, so on to the Ram fight, which is much more fun and I have no problems with.
Yeah.
He uses his pink form to go invisible a lot. Pretty cool. It feels like, I don't know, maybe it's just me. It felt like this was leading up to a new Ram form that just never happened.
I think it's because in this episode we get a lot of character development for him, so it feels like we're leading up to that, but we just don't get it. So I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, maybe it's also because it's like a 2-parter. My brain just associates that with like a new form.
Which is also fair.
Maybe because of like caking.
Yeah. I think they've been doing this a lot for the past couple of episodes where each arc will kind of get like a 2-episode extension.
But as we've seen, now we're coming up to a new Valen form.
Ooh.
It feels like Ram's just kind of getting left behind almost.
It is unfortunately a theme for third writers to not get their power-ups in a timely manner.
Oh, I see. So maybe like you won't get anything until maybe a final form.
Yeah. Third writers infamously get no bitches and also get no powers. It is very common in Kamen Rider.
It's hard out here for us pimps. Yeah, so everything is returned. Helmet Boy is now streaming as Helmet Boy. Pretty cool. Oh, I forgot. When he is fighting the bug, or the beetle, Ram has like the bow pointed towards himself and he fires backwards.
Oh, yeah.
That was cool. Sick. I made a note of it just because it was cool.
I mean, cool guys don't look back at explosions, right?
I did. Stop. So they're all watching the stream, except Hanto, who's not friends with them right now. He goes back to Suga's house where he sees him feeding the bitter Gavvus, and that's where all the dark chocolate's been coming from. The Gavvus, the bitter ones. Yep. The gas. I mean, we're kind of shitting on it because we knew Suga was obviously evil, but the whole like the dark thing is coming from the bitter Gavs. I feel really stupid that I didn't put that together.
Oh, I mean, it makes sense, but at the same time, I also didn't quite put it together because initially when he made Choco, like it wasn't like he had bitter Gavv at that point.
Well, he didn't make those though. He just stole them from Shoma.
Oh, you're right. I forgot about that.
He just kept popping up in the background, like grabbing him off the table and stuff.
What a freak.
It was pretty
creepy
funny.
Little guy.
Yeah, he's a real fucking freak, as we'll get into in episode 27.
Oh man, 27. Oh wait, hold on. A couple of other notes for 26 before we get past it.
Oh, okay.
Just, I guess, in my mind, this episode was a masterclass of them developing a character. I just kind of want to point it out because you don't get that a lot in really in Tokusatsu, where you get episodes. Well, you get them, but it's not very common. Where you get episodes where it's like you actually see a character develop through the episode, and it's a pretty smooth transition because, like you said, Helmet Boy becomes Lakia's new Komel, where it's kind of like he sees little bits of Komel in all of their interactions. It's kind of like different aspects of him gaining acceptance that Komel isn't around anymore. It's like a stage of grief, you know? It's a very typical way to have characters develop through their grief, where they have like someone come in to kind of act as a proxy for what they had lost.
A replacement.
Yeah. And to kind of remind them of what they had. and he kind of like uses it to move on, which I think it was just really well done this episode. And also there was a little interesting point where when they're talking to Helmet Boy, he talks about how the reason why he started the channel was because he just wanted to share what he loved, which I think is a really cool shout out to like content creators doing what they do.
That's true. I mean, we both hate Tokusatsu, so I didn't feel really represented by him.
Yeah, no. We only started this to let people know how much
we're in it for the money.
Yeah, we're gonna make millions off this.
Bang podcast. Zoom. We're gonna be the Mr. Beasts of Tokusatsu.
Henshin, or you get out. But yeah,
a little bit to what you said. I think in the first episode when we were recapping how we feel about Gavv, I said that I didn't, Lakia's backstory really didn't do anything for me, and it still doesn't. Like, I still think it's perfectly whatever. Right. But I have grown back to liking Lakia. Like, I do think his little switch up to join the Shoma side was a little soon, but I do like that they're keeping him being like an alien in mind. Yeah. We've had like episodes where like he doesn't understand why people care about certain things. He doesn't really care about humans, but now he's slowly starting to like join society. He's eating our pudding.
Yeah, that's true.
And by the end of the episode, he's like, maybe this place isn't so bad.
Yeah.
Maybe by the end, we're gonna have a Ram who wants to protect people, and I think that's cool.
Yeah, like very good character development in this episode.
Mm-hmm. Rock solid.
And then we get into 27, picking up with Hanto discovering that Suga's kind of just an asshole.
Yeah, Hanto discovering all his little brothers.
And then immediately saying, I'm not your dad.
Oh yeah, he does really shut that shit down. He's like, yo, I'm not your dad. And the bitter Gavvs are like, oh,
they're kind of sad about
it. Yeah, they're really sad. I mean, they're just horrible existence made by this man
who isn't their father.
Nope, he's showing them no affection.
They didn't choose to be born, and he didn't choose to give birth to them.
He did. He chose to make them.
See, but they don't know
they
that.
They didn't choose to be born. I guess so. With the way he treats them, they certainly don't. But yeah, so he's like, oh, you found out. Oh, well. Look, Hanto, they gave birth to a little chocolate chip. Gochizo, take it.
And Hanto freaks the fuck out.
Yeah, Hanto freaks the fuck out. He's out of there. Crawling on the streets. He's in pain still.
Honestly, he makes it really fucking far crawling on the street.
It's true. He makes it all the way to some bench in the middle of somewhere town.
Yeah, and then Sachika and Shoma just find him on their drive.
Yeah, thankfully they had business over in Somewhereville. And they drive right past
that job was not completed for the day.
Mm-hmm. And Shoma's like, oh, I'll take you to I already forgot his name,
Dente.
Dude. No. At first
take him to Suga, right? And then he's like, no, Suga. Don't. Suga's a bitch. And then he passes out.
He passes out. And so he takes him to Dente. This is the first time Sachika and Hanto will meet Dente.
Yes. Which I will say, Shoma taking people over to meet great uncle Dente, not a good track record.
Not a good track record. Almost got his great uncle killed twice by the end of this episode. Dente is able to use some kind of weird science to figure out what's going on with Hanto. And basically it's the dark Gochizo are putting so much strain on the organ that Suga put inside of him that it's affecting his heart. And that turns out Shoma's Gochizo were a perfect match.
See, okay. This kind of feeds into the theory I had before, where like the dark Gochizos were designed with Granutes in mind. Whereas Shoma's Gochizo is just kind of like, he's half human, half Granute. It hits that medium where Hanto can still use them,
I didn't even think about that. I thought it was just ship baiting.
Yeah, there's that. There's that in every fandom.
Hashtag Shanto.
Oh no! You named them!
I'm sure they have a different name already.
I don't want it to get around.
Yeah. So he leaves Sachika Dente with Hanto.
Oh no, they find Chuckled first.
Oh, you're right. He's looking for the regular Gochizo to tell him what's going on. Yo, where my boys at?
Exactly. Where are his boys?
There's none. Only the dark Gochizo who doesn't talk because he's edgy and 14.
He really does. Oh God, that made me mad. And then Sachika has a Zen scene where she shows that she's a fucking master of martial arts.
Yeah, I don't know what. I mean, it was cool, I guess, but I don't know. It's probably just a
It's
gag.
definitely just a gag, but she locked in and she caught Chokehold
Yeah, she grabbed him.
out of the air, like grabbing a fly with chopsticks.
Mm-hmm. Then Shoma plugged it into his Digivice, and it was like no data found. And so he was like, "What?"
Yeah, head empty, straight up. Only thing he thinks of is evil, because you got that look.
Yeah, he got that dog in him. So Shoma leaves Sachika and Hanto with Dente, and he's gonna go talk to Suga himself.
Oh man.
Then he too is surprised by the bitter Gavv.
Yeah, that was an idea.
Yeah, we got the double reveal, and then they basically beat the shit out of him.
Essentially, yeah. Like, we already know that he's like debilitated. He already is like weak, can't really do a lot. So
yeah, oh yeah, Sachika mentions he's still like bricked up. He can't eat anything but ice cream, apparently.
he's still bricked up.
Yeah. But something I remembered is when Shoma gets there, we get a look at Suga's computer, and it has a chart where bitter Gavv on one end and Valen's on the other end, and in the middle there's a baby.
I missed that. What the fuck?
And I really don't know what the implications of that.
Nah, Suga a freak. We already.
Like, I'm assuming it's like foreshadowing for like the writer that's revealed this episode, because he takes information or like data from Valen and the bitter Gavs. But if not, then I don't know what's happening. Shoma and Valen are having a baby.
No, it's my canon, my head canon that Suga's just a freak.
Oh, he's gonna mix he already has Shoma's DNA.
Oh no, now I have a new theory. All right, no, it's relevant again. We'll get into it. We gotta talk about a new form first.
Oh, okay. Oh, we forgot. They put the Chokehold Gochizo in the goon jar.
Oh no, that's an extra goon out of you.
But that was in the correct context.
Unfortunate. Not the jar. I can't believe Sachika did this to us.
But Hanto wakes up. Immediately is like, "What the fuck is Dente?" But then he settles down. Once Dente's like, I'm kind old man. And basically Dente presents Hanto with like two solutions. Like, I can either like rip that organ out of you, or you gotta stop using the Chokeholds and go back to the Shoma formula. Neither of which Hanto is happy about.
Right.
And then does Hanto go off to Suga's as well? Or do they call Vram first?
No, Hanto goes to Suga first, and then they call Vram later.
Yeah, they call Vram. He's just chilling at a playground like a normal adult. Surrounded by children. And they're like, this is what's going on. You got to go here. Oh, we forgot. Suga calls Hanto. And it's like, I got Shoma.
Oh, yeah. The whole hostage situation phone call.
Yeah, if you want to see your boyfriend again, come to this parking lot at midnight.
And Shoma's like, my bad.
Yeah. So they call Vram and they're like updating him on what's happening. And then Dente is like, but before you go there, come on down to my place.
Oh, by the way, you tried to kill me. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Vram goes down the slide.
The slides are fun.
The slides are fun. I know this is meant to represent him being closer with his younger brother. Maybe it's a little weird.
A little bit.
Tone it back a
Pretty
little
weird.
bit.
Like, all that character development worked so hard on the last episode. Let's keep that.
Yeah, you can pay the kid who played Koji to show up a few more times. That can be Vram bonding with children. You don't need him with the
We need more Helmet Boy on the screen.
We do. Oh my god, we do. My Oshi. So we get to Hanto and he shows up, sees Shoma. Shoma's like tied to a chair or something.
Yes.
And we get the reveal of the Bake Magnum.
Which honestly looks tight. I love the design.
It's very like animal looking, but then he doesn't turn into
No,
anything.
He doesn't turn into an animal. It actually gives me the vibes of the Judenchi changer.
The Gabbu revolver. Is it the big Magnum giving you that vibe, or his transformation literally being Kyoryuger that gives you that vibe?
Both, honestly, because the way it bites down on the Gochizo looks exactly the way, like, after they load the Judenchi into the revolver, it bites down and does the exact same shit.
I thought King Oger had the Kyoryuger crossover. What's going on, Toei?
I guess they're just teasing another Sentai X Kamen Rider Tyson movie.
With Kyoryuger.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So Suga fires it. Kyoryu changes into Kamen Rider Bake. Opinions on the suit, Dominic?
It's just another bitter Gavv, except it's got that brown and white design. Honestly, we discussed it while we were watching the episode. Not the greatest.
No, it's a worse recolor of a suit that I already didn't like. It does look evil, though, I guess. I'll give it that. But we'll get into it. With how cool I think they're doing Suga as a character right now, it's pretty disappointing that this is the level of suit he gets.
Which is, yeah, hella disappointing. Looks meh. It definitely doesn't beget what truly a monster is underneath that suit.
No, and it's just, I don't know. I mean, he's cool, and the fight scene is cool. He forces Shoma to transform. He's like, I want to test myself against you.
Yeah, and he's like, fucking come at me. And Shoma doesn't put up
a fight at all. We see, popping gummy for the first time in, like, it feels like a long time.
Yes, it does feel like a long time.
He's getting destroyed.
Honestly, like, makes sense in the context of the fight. Suga realizes towards the end of the fight that Shoma is holding back.
Oh yeah, he's like, "Where's your other forms, idiot?"
And he's like, "Oh, you're not an idiot. You're just a pussy because I'm human."
Oh yeah, he deduces that he's full on human, and that's why maybe Shoma isn't going all out.
Right.
Because up to this point, he's only ever fought Granutes. Even Vram was a Granute rider.
Yep. And then it's like, oh, if the issue is that I'm a human, here's my fucking body count.
Oh, well, before that, we get a little scene where Vram rushes to Dente, and Dente is taking a look at the Rastrum gear, and he's like, yeah, Niel
Niel's a little
I'm
bitch.
fucking smarter than him. Yeah. Anything that idiot made, I can make better.
Honestly, Dente's spitting out the dirtiest fucking shit on Niel.
And I'm going to have to go back and listen, but I swear you called this in episode 1 that Dente was good. Because we talked about what was going on with Hanto and the leaked scans of him with the Rastrum gear.
Yeah.
And I want to say you called it.
I feel like now that you're mentioning it now in podcast, I do have a faint memory of bringing that up.
We'll have to go back.
Dente genius.
Dente genius. Valen with Rastrum gear eventually. So back to the main fight. Suga reveals the horrifying truth of how Valen came to be.
Man's just been experimenting on humans for 20 years.
20 years. Didn't he? He gave an exact body count,
he said,
too.
I've been through 8 people already, which, holy shit, over the course of 20 years, it's absolutely fucked.
So, I mean, if we weren't doing the podcast back then, obviously, but it was kind of, I guess, convenient in hindsight of how, this guy just perfectly knows how to make Valen into a rider. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Where do you get the renewed organ? That's a little sussy.
That's a little sussy.
How does he know it can even be implanted? That's a little sussy. And now it's all come back around. It's been 20 years of him trying to make Valen, essentially, just on different people who've got fucking killed.
Yep. And then it's not even just he made it for Valen. He scouted the boy. Oh, God.
I want to know why. Like, I think we're going to get that revealed next episode. But yeah, he was targeting Hanto. Like, Hanto was who he wanted to experiment on. And I burped in the middle of that word.
Yeah, I heard it.
He is the reason that Valen's fucking mentor got.
Which is really fun.
It was all a setup.
Hanto's listening on all this. He starts crashing the fuck out.
Yeah, Hanto's right there. It's crazy. This, we talked before about how this actor's been given it all. He really gives it his all. Like, he looks like mentally broken.
Man, when you see him crying, I felt it. Dear God.
the sheer despair on his face is chef's kiss. Like, this scene was perfect.
Man, I really need to learn Hanto's actor's name. Like, I just got to see more of him. He does
I gotta
so
see
good
more.
playing Hanto.
And you know it's fucked up because you know he's like 22 or something.
Right?
Like, this guy has such a long career and he's already, in my mind, like, he's the star. He's the star performance.
Like, I know with a lot of actors, like Tokusatsu really makes their careers like go off, you know. So I hope that.
Well, the Kamen Rider, at least.
Kamen Rider, yeah.
Isn't it like Sentai actors don't pop off?
Yeah, that's true. Well, in this case, Hanto's career, like, man, this actor
it better
pop off because he's doing so good in this role.
He's doing the Lord's work on Kamen Rider Gavv.
Man, like,
he better get some rewards from
please give this man an Oscar.
And the Oscar for Best Actor goes to his name from Kamen Rider Gavv
as Hanto.
As Hanto.
Oh,
is Hanto his first name or his last name?
Kirikida Hanto. I think Hanto is his first name.
Okay, I can't believe you remembered his last name.
I barely remembered it. But man, like, honestly, excellent actor for an excellent role.
Just excellent performance, excellent scene. Like, I talked at the end of the Gozyuger segment how I was more excited to watch that going into this like batch of episodes, and 100% role reversal by the end of this episode. I need to see the next episode.
No, that is the power of good acting. Like, Hanto just did it all, honestly.
I'll say it's the power of good acting, and it's the power of having a strong villain, which Gavv has lacked for its entire run so far.
Right? Suga also the actor played the Suga role so well as well. It was haunting.
So deliciously evil with the reveal of how much pleasure he took in achieving like his goals.
See, that's the thing too. You get the feeling that there was a bit of pleasure to it, but also like evil for the sake of evil. I normally not too into that, but like he does it so well right here.
I mean, I want to know why he's doing this. Like, obviously how did he learn about Granutes? What made him think it's even possible for a human to get Granute powers? Like, Shoma is the first Kamen Rider in this universe, right?
Yes, that is true.
So, I mean, while we're saying like, 20 years he's been trying to make Valen, we don't know what he was trying to make. Because he didn't even know a Kamen Rider was a thing.
That is true.
Was he just trying to turn people into Granute?
See, and then we also, like you said earlier, we don't know the timeline for when dark treats were made. So how long was this man aware of Granutes being a thing? Because Granutes apparently have been around for 20 years then.
At least, yeah. Well, okay, so, I mean, Shoma's probably like around 20 years old, right?
Okay, yeah, that sounds right.
Was his mom kidnapped before they made dark treats? And if so, why? There's just so many, like, I don't know. Something about Suga in this episode really opened up a lot of questions that I have.
See, and that's the thing too, because he says something at the end that really lit my theorist hat on fire. He says,
"Oh wait, before we get into that, we should talk about his weird baby hand."
No, that's a perfect transition. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
So
at
the end of his transformation breaks, and his hand just gets wrinkled and like burning up, and it's disgusting. And then he says,
I couldn't tell if it was like burning or if he turned
right. And there's a throwaway line. You think it's a throwaway line. He says, "Man, this really has an effect on an old man." My running theory at this point: Suga is not as young as he looks. All of that human experimentation, he's trying to brew like the fountain of youth.
Oh,
he's actually an old man, and all of it has led to like this point of him getting these powers to maintain his youth. And then they bring this up. Oh, man, I had this thought previously when we were talking about the last episode, where he's like, don't call me father, kind of like he doesn't want to be reminded that he's old kind of deal.
Oh,
It's
maybe.
probably a stretch, but at the same time, I'm just getting the feeling that obviously he's not what he appears to be. There's definitely more to him. I think he's an old man to achieve that. Just an evil old man trying to keep his youth.
Is Suga Goju Eagle?
In the the worst possible way.
Welcome to Tokusatsu, where we got two old men pretending to be
He don't
young.
eat egg. He eat baby.
That's what the baby on the chart was
No,
for?
okay. Another running theory. He's also trying to make a new body for himself.
Oh, like implant his consciousness?
Yeah, that kind of deal.
Mm.
Man is an evil scientist, mad genius, whatever you want to call him.
Clearly evil.
Clearly evil. I mean, he sacrificed 8 people to get to where he currently is.
And that he's willing to sacrifice more.
And honestly, it makes a lot more sense as to why Honto's going to need a new driver, because he doesn't want to use the Buster that has 8 people of sacrifice in it. Why would you?
Mm-hmm. That's very true. But yeah, so at the end, we do see, after he talks about being harsh on an old man's body, he does say, like, looks like I need Honto more. Looks like I need him.
Right.
Because originally, when he first brings him there, he's kind of demoing the Bake Magnum to Honto. Like, he wants him to use it, I think. Because he wants to extract the data from Honto using it.
That makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. Because before he fights Shoma, he's like, let me show you what it can do, I think.
Yes, that is what he says.
So he wants like Honto to use his stuff so he can get the data, because Honto's young, fit, handsome, and beautiful.
Yeah, all words we've specifically used to describe Honto before.
So several times an episode. But yeah, we do get into the preview. We're gonna see Honto's new form using a Vrastrum gear. I wonder if this is the end of the Vram Buster. If from now on we're just gonna have like 2 Vrastrum gear riders.
Oh, the Valen Buster.
Valen Buster. Oh my god. Why is it Valen and Vram?
The V's.
Can you answer me that, Toei? Oh, speaking of V's, so getting confused with V's. For the past like 3 years or whatever, we had Kamen Rider G's.
Yes.
Geats, Gotchard, Gavv. And we just got do you have any more thoughts about Gavv?
No, honestly, just a great pair of episodes. Like, isolated from each other, really amazing episodes in general, but also great at driving my desire to continue watching this series.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, going into this batch of episodes, I was kind of like, oh yeah, we're back to Helmet Boy, whatever. And I don't think I'm quite as high on 26 as you are, but 27 was like, whoa. That's heat. Like, that's probably my favorite episode of the show so far.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a fair assessment. Like, spot on acting, spot on like story beats, keeping things interesting. That's Gavv for this week. Oh man,
that's Gavv. But going into what I was saying with the G's, we got the reveal of the trademark for next year's Kamen Rider.
Ooh, I missed that.
Oh, you missed? Let me Google it so I make sure I get it right. And it's not a G though, so I'm happy about that.
End of the G era?
End of the G era. We're now moving on to PG.
PG? Not even T? Come on.
PG-13, baby. Yeah, it is Kamen Rider Zeztz.
I'm gonna need to. There's no way.
It is Zezztz is the official English romanization. So awful to say. Just an awful speaking experience.
Okay, that's gotta be Zests, right?
Would they do 2 food riders in a row?
Wait, no, just kidding. I'm seeing a phonetic representation, a phonetic pronunciation of it now. Kamen Rider Zetsu.
Yeah, Zetsu.
So that Z in the middle is just silent.
I don't know. Well, it's true, because the English for Gavv is Gavv. People say, oh, you have to say Gavu. So maybe when Kamen Rider Zetsu comes out, people will be like, it's Kamen Rider Zetsu? Zetsu means all, right?
Yes. No, that's...
Is it? But this isn't an anniversary
Zenbu
year.
Is all.
Right? Oh, Zenbu. God.
Japanese hard.
I'm sorry. High school Japanese, I've failed you. Zetsu means something, though, right?
It is the 7th Reiwa series, so maybe it has something to do with that. Kamen Rider Zetsu. Interesting.
No, I'm probably just thinking of Naruto.
Yeah, probably.
Never mind. Yeah. Well, yeah. So that's coming up in the future. This time, well, not this. That doesn't make sense. In like late September and October, we'll be here talking about the first episode of Kamen Rider Zez's.
Yeah, and the 24th episode of Gozyuger.
Gozyuger.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm. But before that, we'll be back here next episode talking about the next 2 episodes of Kamen Rider Gavv.
The next 2 episodes of number 1 Sentai Gozyuger.
Until then, we will see you later.
Tokusatsu. 2 guys talking Tokusatsu.
Peace.